Story 1. The Black-Eyed Children. It was a little after 9. A normal Tuesday night. I'd just finished doing the dishes and was scrolling on my phone in the living room. The blinds were closed, TV off, house quiet. That's when I heard the knock. 3 short taps. I froze for a second. I wasn't expecting anyone, and no cars had pulled into the driveway. I walked to the front door, keeping the porch light off. My peephole was useless in the dark, so I used the side window instead. 2 kids stood there, a boy and a girl, maybe 10 or 11. They weren't moving, just standing perfectly still, side by side. Their clothes looked strange, not dirty, but wrong, like they'd been bought decades ago. The boy had on a brown jacket, several sizes too big. The girl, a pale dress with a torn hem. I cracked the door open an inch. "Can I help you?" The boy spoke first. His voice was flat, no emotion at all. "We need to come inside. We need to use your phone." The girl stared at me without blinking. Every instinct in me said no. My pulse picked up. "What's wrong? Do you live nearby?" I asked. "We need to come inside," the boy repeated. That's when I noticed their eyes. Completely black. Not just the pupils, the whole thing. No whites, no color. Just 2 perfect black spheres reflecting the dim porch light. My stomach turned cold. I slammed the door shut and locked it. For a few seconds, I just stood there in the hallway, heart pounding, listening. No footsteps, no voices. I peeked through the window again. They were gone. I stayed awake the whole night. Every sound from outside made my skin crawl. At 3:17 a.m., I checked my phone and saw a notification from my doorbell camera. Motion detected at 9:04 p.m. The clip showed the 2 of them standing there exactly as I'd seen. But the footage cut out after 3 seconds. The file was marked as corrupted. The next morning, I told my neighbor. She went pale and said quietly, "You should be glad you didn't let them in." When I asked why, she just shook her head and went back inside. I deleted the clip from my phone, but it's still in my head. Those faces, those eyes, staring like they'd already chosen me. Story 2. The Vanishing Hitchhiker. It was raining hard that night, the kind of rain that blurs everything outside the windshield. I'd been driving for hours, just trying to get home. No streetlights out here, only the glow of my high beams cutting into the dark. About halfway down an empty stretch of road, I saw her, a young woman standing just beyond the guardrail, hood up, shoulders hunched against the rain. She had no umbrella, no bag, nothing. I slowed down, leaned over, and rolled the passenger window halfway down. "Do you need a ride?" I called out. She nodded once and walked toward the car, not looking directly at me. When I unlocked the door, she didn't take the front seat. She slid into the back instead, her wet coat squeaking against the leather. Her voice was quiet but clear. She gave me an address a few miles up the road, then went silent. I tried small talk, asking if she lived nearby, if she was okay, but she didn't answer. I checked the rearview mirror and saw her staring out the side window, raindrops sliding down the glass beside her face. A few minutes later, we approached a red light. I glanced in the mirror again. The back seat was empty. I pulled over hard, my heart racing. The seat wasn't wet anymore. It wasn't even cold. I turned around, expecting to see her crouch down, or maybe slipped onto the floor. But there was no trace of anyone. Shaken, I drove to the address she'd given me. A small, single-story house with the porch light on. An older man answered when I knocked. I stammered, "I think I just gave someone a ride here." But she disappeared from my car. The man's face went pale. He asked me to describe her. I told him about the pale coat, the hood, the quiet way she spoke. He disappeared into the house for a moment and came back with a framed photo. Same face, same coat. She was my daughter, he said. She died on that road in a car accident 15 years ago. I didn't know what to say. I just handed the photo back and left. I haven't taken that route since, and when I drive in the rain, I can't shake the feeling that someone might be sitting silently in the back seat, waiting for me to notice. Story 3, Room 4, 28. I was in town for a conference, booked a last-minute hotel near the venue. From the outside, it looked nice. Older building, restored brickwork, warm lights in the lobby. Check-in was quick, but when the clerk read my room number, her smile faded for half a second. Room 4, 28, she said, sliding the keycard across the counter. Then, almost too quietly to hear, "Let me know if you need anything." The elevator ride felt slow, the kind where you can hear the cables groan. The hallway carpet was worn thin in the center, the wallpaper faintly peeling. My room was at the very end. Inside, everything looked normal. Bed, desk, armchair by the window. But the air felt still, like the room hadn't been used in a while. I set my bag down, plugged in my phone, and noticed the lights flicker twice before settling. That night, I stayed up late finishing work on my laptop. Around midnight, I heard footsteps above me. Slow, deliberate. I thought nothing of it at first, until I remembered I was on the top floor. The steps paced back and forth, then a dragging sound, heavy and slow. I muted my laptop and listened. After a while, the sound stopped, replaced by something worse. A whisper, not words I could understand. Just the sound of someone talking low and close to a wall. I didn't sleep much. In the morning, I mentioned it to the clerk while checking out. Her polite expression vanished. She glanced toward the other staff, then leaned in slightly. "There's nothing above that room," she said. "No storage, no attic, just the roof." I laughed nervously, but she didn't smile. "You're not the first guest to hear things. We don't usually put people in 428. As I left, I glanced back at the hotel from the sidewalk. The top floor windows were evenly spaced, except for one, my window. The curtains were open just enough for a shadow to stand behind them. I told myself it was a trick of the light, a shape made by furniture. But the longer I looked, the more certain I became that someone was standing there, watching me leave. I walked away faster, and I didn't look back. If you made it this far, thanks for watching True Night Terrors. Which of tonight's stories unsettled you the most? Let me know in the comments. I read every single one. If you enjoyed these tales, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a night of terror. Until next time, sleep well, if you can.